All right, let's talk about DOZY MMOBUOSI. DOZY MMOBUOSI. DOZY MMOBUOSI. Liar, or where is the $6 billion? I'm going to tell you a little bit about DOZY. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about DOZY. But before I tell you about DOZY, okay, DOZY is a guy with a special type of story. Okay, he has a special type of story. But I'm going to play this video. All right, DOZY is the owner of Tingo Group of Companies. Tingo Group of Companies. So I'm going to play this video, this short video, and then we'll take it from there. 1 second. Let's see. There you go. 1 second though. All right, let's do this.
MMOBUOSI. Up until recently, very few people in the West had ever heard of him, and to this day, very few people in Nigeria have ever heard of him. DOZY founded a company called Tingo Mobile, which claims to be one of the largest fintech and mobile phone companies in Nigeria.
That makes sense.
It went public on the Nasdaq in December of 2022 through a reverse merger, and at its peak reached a valuation of over $1 billion. The company claimed it was revolutionizing the agricultural industry in Nigeria, helping farmers to access an efficient online payment network and selling their produce through Tingo's online marketplace.
Anyway, that's DOZY right there. Let's keep playing a little bit.
They'd signed up over 9 million farmers across Nigeria and Ghana, and were generating hundreds of millions of dollars in annual revenue. But in November of 2023, the SEC said,
unfortunately, DOZY is coming down. Okay. DOZY is a guy who claimed to have started this company. So this is our version of Wealth Building Wednesday today. Okay, DOZY is coming down. It's coming down. Okay, SEC has filed a lawsuit against him, sadly. But who is DOZY and what does Tingo do? Tingo, there's Tingo Food, there's Tingo Mobile, there's Tingo Beverages. Okay, and there's there's Tingo Group of Companies. Okay, there was also Tingo Incorporated. Tingo actually got listed on Nasdaq, which is one of 3 major stock exchanges, stock market exchange here in the United States, here in New York City. Okay, and his company got listed, which is, hey, yay, we can celebrate, right? One of our own billionaires, kind of like how we celebrated the 70-year-old gentleman, Mr. Bayo Ogunlesi, the other time. Go and watch that video if you haven't seen it. We did cover. So somebody's going to come back here and say, why you always talk about people that are being pulled down, black men that are getting pulled down? The way we started this series was we were lifting black men up, and we also emphasized time. We emphasized that do the work. We emphasized that it takes time, and by the time you start showing to the world that you're a billionaire, the reality is that you've been enjoying the fruits of your labor for probably a couple of decades before people find that out. Now, everybody's not going to be like that. Some people are going to be Mark Zuckerberg of Nigeria, meaning overnight, because they created something that everybody's just using, right? Quote unquote ecosystem. Anyway, DOZY claims that when they ask him, anytime they ask him what is Tingo, he would say it's an ecosystem. Whenever people say it's an ecosystem, that can be a red flag. Okay, it's not always a red flag, but it can be a red flag that you probably should ask a little bit more questions. Ask a few more questions before you decide to put your money behind these people. I'm just saying. Okay. So, welcome, Brother Ben. Good to see you. Tingo Lingo Bala Blue. I know what you're trying to get me to do. I'm not gonna do it. I won't do it. I will not disrespect our president.
Different from Bala Blue. Blue. Bulaba.
Sorry, I needed to breathe anyway. Anyway, so DOZY is now 45 years old today. He's 45 years old. He was born the same year I was born. Can you imagine? 1979. He started off as, he claims that he started off at the age of 13. He was a hustler. He would take some clothing that his friends were, some friend that he had at the age of 13. I don't know what kind of friend he had that was traveling to Cotonou or Ghana, bringing in bend down low, and he was a hustler basically for the longest. There's also another story out there saying that he was helping insurance companies with his ideas. Anyway, It's been reported in quite a few different publications over time. Okay, so he's been featured in Forbes Africa. He's been featured in GQ, right? He's been featured in quite obviously, like I said, he has a company listed on NASDAQ. It doesn't get any better than that. Okay, in fact, let me show you something when it comes to Tingo Group of, they call it Tingo Group, right? Let me show you something real quickly. This is a big deal. All right, you get listed on Yahoo Finance. Check this out. Let me show you. You get enlisted on Yahoo Finance. That is a big deal. Okay, let me show you guys this. Right, the shares are selling now at 69 cents. Well, it's zero basically, because since this all allegations, well, it's been indicted by SEC, FBI. Okay, and since all of this, he's along with his company, they've voluntarily delisted the company from the NASDAQ. So you can probably see zero. But if you go back to, if I go full screen here, oh, don't tell me that I gotta pay. No, stop the cap. Okay, I don't have to pay. If you go back, you can see it's empty right now. No chat is available. But let's go back to 5 years. Okay, you can see here 5 years. They got this listed at some point. They were probably, there's some, you see the spike. Okay, so at this point, volume 6.3. At this point, 6.32 million in volume of activities on that stock. Now you see it crashed, and then there was another spike. When was this? If you don't know how to look at graph, rest. I will explain it to you. Okay, in May of 2023, there was another spike and then crashed. Okay, all right. So who knows? Maybe they were pumping and dumping this. Okay, so if I scale this back, you can see that this. They have some kind of activity since 2013. I don't know what's going on here. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. But I just wanted to show you that. But that's a big deal that he actually got listed at one point, right? Let's keep going. I'm going to tell you more. So DOZY is a 45-year-old man. He started at 13. Then when he was in university, he was also a party promoter. So I know quite a few party promoters when I was in school, and they also tend to be enterprising, right? They tend to be entrepreneurs, right? Because, but DOZY said, he's always been about his cash flow. As a matter of fact, he said, as an Igbo man, it's in my blood somewhere. That's what he said. As an Igbo man, our Yoruba people don't know how to sell Abi. Anyway, he said, as an Igbo man, it's just in my blood. Okay, all right. So he also claimed that he's some sort of, he knows about financial engineering. And then the guy, I forgot his name, the guy at Arise News TV said, be careful with that word. Financial engineering. He said, well, I meant leverage. I believe in leverage too. Leverage does not mean stealing. For some people, it means stealing. It doesn't have to mean stealing. It usually means that you're able to extract more value from little resources, right? I always preach that you should be resourceful. You need to learn how to bring value to the table. Sometimes just your words is valuable for other people, right? Sometimes just your handiwork is, like, they pay you $20 an hour. It might actually mean $100 per hour for the person who hired you, right? But nonetheless, you wouldn't be able to do it yourself if you didn't have a job, right? Okay, that's called leverage. They leverage your skills. You leverage their organization, their system, right? Okay, but I said financial engineering. Okay, financial engineering does not have to mean something bad, but I'm telling you right now that thieves are using that phrase. They say call it financial engineer money. Even we have pastors using that word. Because, some people might tell you that they can financial engineer money to show up under your pillow. Anyway, all of this is yielding back to Sogun Dogoji. Okay, I don't know the English of that, okay? But pyramid scheme, okay? Some kind of scheme, a Ponzi scheme. Something that will crumble eventually. Why? Because there's no intrinsic value in it. Go and Google intrinsic value. Whatever you're trying to invest in, make sure there's intrinsic value in it. Now, there's a game you can play when you're trading, when there's no real intrinsic value. But you see how fast you can go up? That's how fast you can crash. Did you see that graph? You want me to show you the graph again? You see how fast it went up? That's how fast it crashed. Okay, so that's what happens when people are looking for fast money. Now he's 45 years old. It could be easily a billionaire at 45 years old. You never know, but at that point, it's usually like you're a household name. We didn't know of this guy. Some of you did not know about this guy up to this story that I'm telling you right now, right? Some of you I might have seen his name here and there, and it's kind of sad because these are usually very, very intelligent people, right? But like I always say, intelligence is not always the same thing as wisdom, right? Because wisdom requires you to have some kind of foresight. You can see far. Intelligence, sometimes you're very smart to create something short term that won't last, right? You're very, very smart, but you're able to create something, but you can't see as far to know the ongoing factors that will make it crash fast. Anyway, let's keep going. I'm still getting to the story. So he also owned foundations. They tend to own foundations. Okay. Now he's only indicted. We're not going to prosecute him here. We're just saying this is what's in the news. Okay. We're not going to convict him here either. But there's just too much going on. Okay. I'm going to share some of them with you. I'm going to share a lot of them with you today, right now, here today. Okay. All right. So now they tend to be involved in foundations and like they give back, and all that kind of stuff, But let me show you some of the stuff that we have here from DOZY. Okay. So sad. You can see here, this is Uncle Dele Momodu posted this video of DOZY MMOBUOSI's foundation. There's people talking. There are people launching programs, healthcare, prostate cancer awareness. You can see DOZY there. All right, so he has, let me go to his page. Okay, let's see. So he has lots of activity. I'm just gonna go through his Instagram page here. This is DOZY's Instagram page. He has almost 100,000 followers. So for somebody who's a billionaire listed on NASDAQ at 45, it's possible. It's highly not probable, okay, that a person who is 45 years old will not be a household name and they are listed on NASDAQ. It's almost impossible, okay, but it's possible, okay. But let's look at this, okay. You can see here he's paying tribute to the late Herbert Wigwe that we covered the story just a few days ago. All right, there's also a video here. Let me make it bigger. Sorry, I'll make it bigger. All right, let's see. All right, Tingo. All right, so that's the offices in Dubai, right? So if you pay attention to people like Elumelu, and they always show lifestyle, right? And the problem is that Elumelu has been working a long time, and even he is still being accused by Bode George as a thief. So imagine you that you just started. Okay, he launched his company 23 years ago, but he just got listed on NASDAQ, okay? All right, that's them right there. And then you can see beverages, Tingo beverages, okay? They are pouring drinks and stuff, right? I'm just giving you some background story here, right? So you can know what we're talking about. Okay, so this is the offices in Dubai. We're gonna leave that alone. There's Tingo Food, the making of Tingo food and beverages. So they were actually producing some products here, right? So this is actually some actual activities going on here, right? But this was posted 12 weeks ago. 12 weeks ago would be about 4 months ago, right? But it's been going through this case. And also they raised all that money from the Wall Street because a bunch of people. So at some point, the company, because of the valuation and the trading that was going on, when they launched on NASDAQ, they raised money from investors. It was valued at about $6 billion. I don't know the exact numbers, right? About $6 billion. And you know what that means? DOZY became a billionaire overnight. That's what that means. Okay. Now, there's been reports that this guy just started buying all kind of luxury cars, buying houses, and just, But again, I'm here to report to you that he was actually producing some kind of drinks, right? So I don't know, But to do this, to be able to produce this in China and have somebody showing you some kind of production going on in a factory behind somebody's house in China or in Aba, it doesn't cost as much as a Rolls Royce. Okay, you can get this going easily. So we don't know. It doesn't prove anything. Is my point. Okay. So again, he's showing. Then he shows some foundation. They built some houses for some people. I think he had his foundation had some stuff going on in Malawi. Okay. So you can see here, this caption says, took significant strides in rebuilding and transforming the lives of many affected by climate. Freddy in Folombe and Zomba Chizi in the Republic of Malawi. We are excited to announce that 75 houses are nearing completion. So they are building houses, 75 houses for people that were probably displaced. And here it says, I am pleased to announce Tingo, this was 18 weeks ago. Tingo Group's collaboration with KPITB, our mission reshaping Pakistan's agriculture and uplifting. So they've also joined forces. Okay, they've joined forces with some Pakistani people. Okay, conglomerate. Now, this one here is a big deal. They actually had the branch. They launched like some kind of healthcare facility. They call it the Equity Healthcare Center. Hold on one second. So they were playing. Okay, let me play this one.
Okay. And we want to see quality healthcare democratized in Nigeria for every boy, girl, every man, and every woman.
All right, so he launched the grand opening ceremony, and they call it Equity Specialist Clinics and Diagnostic Services. They actually have a VIP hospital bed in there too, where you have like a long shower with jacuzzi, but the hospital bed where people can be taken care of. You can see all the high class people in society, right? The top people in Lekki, in Lagos, wherever this is, Lagos, Nigeria, they came to the opening, right? So this activity is going on here, right? Let's see what else. Founder Tingo Group. I wish to state categorically. All right, so this story of the Sheffield Football Club. His problem started the moment he attempted to buy a football club called the Sheffield United Football Club. Okay. You can see here it says, I wish to state categorically I have not withdrawn my bid. He bidded 90 million pounds, something like that, right? Something like that. Let me make sure. Let me see if I have that number here. Okay. He bidded. His problem started the moment he decided to bid. You know, the issue here is this, okay? Sometimes, you know, Yoruba people say, Ma sare juele dialo. Okay, I don't know if that's what he did though. Sometimes some unfortunate situation can happen to some people, but anyway. So he owns the foundation, mobile, fintech, which means financial technologies, right? Agricultural operations. Obviously, I've talked about the food, the beverages. He calls it an ecosystem. Right? So every time they ask like, what is it that you do? People tend to be a little bit confused. What is it that you do? It could be because it's a shy person. It's not really a talker. Who knows, right? He also tried to launch a text message type of driven cash transfer where you can just transfer cash to people with a text message, you know, kind of like a Apple Money, you know. He tried to do that. He has the backing of NASDAQ at some point up to recently when he voluntarily delisted his company from the NASDAQ stock exchange. And then also they actually had Deloitte, the big consulting company Deloitte. They did an audit, and they actually, because you have to do a lot of scrutiny before you can get your company listed on NASDAQ, and they managed to pull that off. There was actually presented paperwork and financial statements from Deloitte that they used to get on NASDAQ. Okay, they used a method. They call it the reverse margining or something. You know, when they merge companies, like margin, they merge companies, right? So they call it the reverse margin, so they can avoid all the headache that goes into listing an IPO. If you don't know what IPO is, please don't worry, it doesn't matter. Okay, the point is that they went through some you know, they've tried to be listed, because here's the deal: when you have your company listed on major stock exchanges, right, a bunch of investors are now able to invest in your company, which means you can raise a lot of money, which means also leadership, you are now responsible for a lot of people's money. So if there is no fundamental values in your company, it's only a matter of time before it haunts you. Now, some people will take the risk. They will raise a lot of money so they can quickly flip that money and then pay people back later on. But some people just don't make it. And I think this guy was chasing after fast money way too soon. From everything I've shown you right now, I can tell you that he had his hands full. Okay? All right. So Up to recently, they claimed that they had an expected revenue of $1 billion. They claimed that they had expected revenue of $1 billion because you have to show those kind of numbers to get it listed on Amazon. And then you have to actually show from, major companies like Deloitte that they've audited your paperwork. Then they came to find out after they started digging through. So there's this company called, what's the name here? Let me find the name. It's called Edinburgh Research, okay? And they said this particular guy, he's like a lion. He's looking for companies, especially those ones that steal, the fraudulent ones. He's looking for them to devour. They're looking for them to devour, but also they make news out there, and there are people called short sellers. Their job is to basically bet against your company. If they bet against your company, if they predict that your company is going to fall apart, and their prediction comes true, right? So they basically trade the opposite of like buying a stock. They make a lot of money when their prediction comes true because the stock market, your shares, the price of your shares will crash, and then basically that's how they make money. And DOZY said, I think it's evil to short sell. I don't think it's evil to short sell, okay? The same way you can bet that a company can go up, another person can bet and say, this company has no fundamentals. I predict that this beast will crash in the next few days or in the next few years, okay? It is what it is called business. So he admitted on Arise News, he admitted that, okay, yes, like it's a business model. So what are you talking about? You think it's evil? It must be evil to run your own business too, but that's beside the story. But there's a lot that Edinburgh Research found out when they started to dig in through DOZY's books, finances books. So I'm going to pause for a second here. Let me come to the chat. I want to see what you guys are talking about, because DOZY go collect. Listen, they are after him right now, and actually right now I think the last video I saw is actually in Nigeria, okay, and they said the news is saying it's at large. That's what they're saying, as in like at large, as in they're looking for him. Okay, DOZY is from Delta. He says it's from Delta. I think he said it's from Delta. All right. Wait, I still had the Bala Blue on the screen. Interesting. You can see I wasn't looking. Let's see. All right, you guys are just listening. You're following. I like that. Hit the like button, though. Let's ping everybody else into the room. Does DOZY have a product or service? Yeah, I think I've covered that already. He has some product or service. I don't think he had enough to collect $6 billion from people, from investors. I don't think so, DOZY Moibo, my in-law. That's your in-law. Are you sure you still want to claim that? But myself need to start NGO. Wahala. I wonder which kind money enter in hand. A lot. Okay, not all 6 billion. Obviously, he's probably hired people and all that kind of stuff, but a lot. And the SEC and the FBI are asking for, where's the money? Where's the money? Okay. What do you do should be an easy question to answer. If you don't have anything to hide, well, if you have your hands in a lot of stuff, that can get difficult very quickly. Or if you are trying to steal, that can get difficult too. Deloitte, the big three, are being a big four. Yeah, Deloitte is one of, there's some other companies out there, I know. I think EY, is EY one of them too? Yeah, so once you present people from these guys, a lot of people kind of like tend to trust you because they have a lot on the line to put theirs, okay? So I'll tell you what they found in a second here. Someone in compliance did not do their job. Yes! Now you're talking, Latu, exactly. What state is DOZY from? I already answered. The big four auditing firms are compromised. They're losing credibility. Yup. They've always been compromised, but it was easy for them to get away. But now that we have all these different small companies coming up and they have technology to detect stuff, right? They have to sharpen up their skills. That's why they also continue to build, right? So, is that not the company Tinubu said he worked with as an accountant? Did he? He probably did. They've been around for a long time. That's why they call them the big three or the big four. But anyway, let's continue. There's more to this, okay? There's more to this, okay? So I already gave you some background with DOZY. DOZY is facing some serious allegations, okay? DOZY is going to collect woto. Okay, so his problem started the moment he decided that he wanted to engage in buying Sheffield, and then they started to, once you're still building, you can even still get away a few things. Yeah, KPMG, thank you so much for that, Natu. Once you start, is Pricewater one of them? Pricewater is that part of the Big Four? I know they're also auditing, but Pricewater is also very present in Nigeria too, right? So this is one of the magazines that DOZY was on. Tech entrepreneur DOZY MMOBUOSI is changing Africa's agricultural sector throughout innovation. So let me explain the business model that actually got them on the NASDAQ according to reports. Okay, so basically they were supposed to get cell phones in the hands of farmers. The farmers will be able to check the weather, they're able to have access to certain types of financing so that they can actually operate better. The agriculture, Nigeria is trying to build the agricultural sector, right? So he's basically, his words that he was looking for a way that they can add value to cash crops before they are just exported anyhow for cheap. That we shouldn't be importing chocolates. That makes sense. When we're exporting cocoa, we should be able to export both cocoa and chocolate so we can make money for Nigeria. We've been talking about that for a while, right? So that makes sense, So his job was basically to get a bunch of cell phones. Eventually, they claim that they've gotten 9 million in the hands of 9 million farmers. Okay, 9 million farmers will get cell phones so that they can actually transfer money, be able to. A lot of their operations will happen basically on the cell phone. Okay. So, including having access to resources and things like that. So, some reports says that they've gotten that in the hands of 9 million subscribers. Some said 12 million subscribers. I don't know which one is true. Bottom line is that they lied. Okay, they lied. So when Deloitte was doing their own due diligence, Natu was talking about compliance. When they were doing their due diligence, they sent an email to the company that was supplying them cell phones in China, and they sent the email. And then there was an actual reply from the domain name of the company in China. So when Hindenburg and all these other people that are investigating, when they started to dig in through his paperwork, they found out that it was DOZY MMOBUOSI, his company, that purchased the domain name of the China company that was supplying cell phones, and they were the one replying the emails of Deloitte all along. You get it? Oh, so, and by the way, when they check how many people have actually downloaded the apps that was supposed to be helping, the Tingle app that was supposed to be helping the farmers, right? They were only showing 50 downloads on Android. You get it? You get it? No? You get it?
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it. All right.
50 downloads. How do we explain from 9 to 12 million subscribers to 50 downloads? Okay, now DOZY is changing his words. I don't know if he's changing or what he's saying on news. It's now doing like news tours around Nigeria. He's featured on Today. He's featured on Arise News, and he said, "Well, I'm not in the mobile business, but wait. He didn't do that, but basically he's trying to." Okay, 50 downloads, 9 million subscribers. When people see those kind of numbers, like, let me put my money. Before you know it, this person put $30, this person put $300, this person put $3,000, right? When they start putting their small money, it adds up very quickly to $6 billion. Okay, it adds up very, very quickly. And then the reports are showing, then DOZY started buying all kind of fancy stuff. That's what the reports are saying. Okay, I'm saying that because you can look around, you see the reports everywhere. Okay, because that's what the SEC and FBI, that's what they're suing for. All right, Press Store, yes, News Store. Yep, so Press Store, thank you, Jerry. Thank you for helping my accurate discombobulated English. All right, so we're still talking about DOZY, right? Let's come back. DOZY said, I got money, Ninja. What are you talking about? I got money. I have money. I still have money. So they found out that an account that was supposed to show $400 million or $90 million, the numbers are a little, there's discrepancies in the numbers because everybody's still confused, okay? Even the SEC said they've never seen anything like this before, okay? They found $15. Another report said they found $50 in the account. I don't think so. Okay, it cost a little bit more than $50 to do like a line manufacturing of of Tingo beverages. It costs even more than that to have internet to show that on Instagram now. Like, come on, right? But anyway, the valuation of the company dropped from $8 billion in one day to $400 million, a 94% drop. That's a lot of money still, right? Is that how it works? No, a 94% drop. BC. Okay, so he lied about the China mobile company suppliers via email. Okay, and basically this is a statement from Edinburgh Research. Exceptional, obvious scam. Exceptional, obvious scam. Never seen anything like Tingo. For a decent fraud case, there might be a couple of material misrepresentation where management will try to lie about a big thing or two. He said here, an entire conglomerate have been faked. The whole thing. Everything. Okay? So on Arise News, he kept saying like he's been a victim. He was basically suggesting that it's a victim of short selling. Like I said earlier on, I don't think so. Okay, I don't think so. All right. So what they've done is they claimed that they signed up millions of people with the promise for micro loans. Okay, and a lot of people were ready to invest in agriculture in Nigeria in a very, what do you call it? In an innovative solution that will help Nigeria as a nation, agriculture. So these things are beautiful things that can happen at some point for our dear nation, Nigeria. But I want you to be aware that many people will be out there looking for ways to steal with this promise of a better Nigeria. Okay? All right. So he also claimed that there were many investors that were involved already in London. As you can see, the graph showed all the way back. They've shown some numbers, but the problem is that the numbers that they actually showed they were not real life value that were being offered on ground. It's crazy. The idea that somebody will wake up one day, a 45-year-old man, will not just like, where are we going with this? What are you trying to become? I'll tell people all the time, thank God for my family. I'm a blessed man. I'm a blessed man. But if it was just up to me, I can work at McDonald's for, how much is the minimum wage now? $11? $15? And I will eat there and I will come home, I'll watch YouTube on my phone, and life is easy, simple, right? But we have needs. We have emotional needs. We have significance needs. We want to grow. We want to contribute. All these needs we have, and sometimes we have to stretch ourselves. Don't stretch yourself until you break is the message here, okay? Because sometimes you just don't know when to stop. Greed is a bastard. Greed is a bastard. Hey. Anyway, right now I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link. I'm gonna end exactly at 7. Okay, I'm gonna end exactly at 7. I'm getting ready to cover the main lessons here. All right, but I'm gonna end exactly at 7. Okay, so if you have something, an insight you want to share about this, feel free to come up. All right, and I will end at 7. All right, SEC has now charged both Tingo and MMOBUOSI. Okay, they said the entire enterprise concluded by the SEC, not FCC, not ESCC, SEC, Securities Exchange Commission, something like that. They said the whole thing is a fiction. Okay, all right. They're saying they have charged them now with the fraud of staggering scope. They say DOZY is still at large. Okay, so at large meaning they can't find him. Okay, but he was on Arise News a few days ago. He was also on Tuesday a few days ago. Okay, MMOBUOSI has called the SEC's allegation baseless and said he will contest them with unwavering resolve. Tingo has said it will fully cooperate with the regulator. All right, and like I said, they voluntarily delisted from NASDAQ already. Okay, so they're no longer listed on NASDAQ. So a couple of questions that I have. What can we learn from these as investors? The second question that I have is, what can we learn from this as business creator? Okay, a lot of people that are not entrepreneurs or that are afraid of taking risk, might just have one like these people are thief. That's their conclusion. I get it. But what can we learn as an investor? What can you learn as a business creator? You have dreams. You want to build, right? You're ambitious, right? What can we learn from this? Because sometimes you do need leverage. You need other people's money, other people's resources. But at what point can you potentially break your back while you're doing this? Okay. Let me see here. I have Natu here. Natu, my G, what's going on?
What's up? What's up, my people? I'm good.
What's going on?
MOP.
Yes.
I work in compliance. So this one is pinching me one kind like that.
Really? Talk
Yeah,
to me.
the whole thing about this guy, right? I mean, I didn't really dig deep. I was just going with you as you were investigating.
Right.
I think compliance is to be blamed in this one.
Yeah.
Up to like 80 to 90%. Because somebody failed to do their job. So if you have a new business, the only business that you can give a pass is a new business that doesn't have a social media presence, they're just starting. Then you can do a site visit and that covers for that. Do you understand?
Right.
But somebody that says a business has been online for a while you email them, you still go to research to confirm if they have a physical building or is all this kind of virtual buildings. And then you have to put all of that in your note. But because the fact that when I got my job, I got one of the managers to sign in as my boss. I replied there so that I could get what I was bargaining for. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right. So there should have been you're saying there should have been some kind of site visit.
Yes. Even if they would not do site visit.
Let me add this. It looks like they did a site visit after they started investigation and they found that there's no anything.
That was too late. That was too late.
Yeah.
All of those stocks could be averted before they even listed him on NASDAQ. Like all of that could have been averted. So even if let's say the place is in China, you can't go to China, you email them. Do you understand?
Right.
When you email them, you now research online to go to their website if they have one. That's number one.
So they had website in this case, and they
wait. I'm taking you there. Yes.
Okay.
Website.
Right.
That's one. You now do Google search. Google search. We have some buzzwords that we use in the Google search if you're searching for a company. Yeah, and so it's like
security. I love it.
No, I'm not cybersecurity. I'm AML.
Compliance. AML.
Yeah.
Anti-money laundry. I like
Yeah.
it. Same thing. Continue.
So there's some buzzwords that you search with the person's name or the company's name. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And if there's anything in the past that has to be related with that company, to pop up. So if it does not pop up in the Google search engine and you don't see that, you're supposed to pause. It doesn't have social media presence, but they have a website. You understand? You can't even find it on Google because every reasonable person that has a business and have their website, they want to put it on every search engine they can get because once you type their name, they want it to pop out.
Exactly. Yeah.
So once you don't have that, it's a red flag for you. And then the person that is replying you from there, you want to go and search that person too and see who is that person. Is it a real person? Everybody wants to be on LinkedIn. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me go and search if the person really works there.
That makes sense.
So there's a lot of, honestly, what I'm going to tell people that are into business, I want to use other people's money. If you're not good with money, don't start.
Just start now.
Don't embarrass your family.
You have to show something. You have to show something first, right?
Yes, and then if you've known that you've not carried any feasibility report, you've not done like a pilot program to show that you understand what I'm saying. This is what I'm doing so far. This is what we're like my NGO that I was telling you about.
Right.
We were able to double the numbers that we were doing in work this time around. It's because of what we did in October that we're able to show for. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So if somebody wants to help now, it's because he has seen us working that he wants to help. You understand? Exactly. So it's just the same thing. If you want to go into something, start with something like your money to see if it will work. Because I have a lot of business in this America that didn't work. They're still in my closet. My husband has counted everything for me so many times to try to sell it. So imagine if people's money that I've used to do that and the money is tied down, how will I explain to them?
Yeah, it's a dangerous game, or maybe I should call it a risky game. It's high risk, but high risk comes with high rewards. But I would add on to it that it comes with high responsibility, right? So, and there's a lot of people that we know as the greats today, and they've managed to to get through they've done fraudulent stuff, but they managed to come out on the other side. One of the questions that they kept asking was, why did he want to list, since all of his operation is in Nigeria, why did he want to list so badly in NASDAQ in America?
I mean, listing in NASDAQ, you know what that means now. They're gonna blow you up.
So, even if you get through, after they catch you, it's over.
Yeah, but when they catch you, everything goes down. So what do you achieve? That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes when you want to get people, when you want to put yourself in that kind of position, do a lot of groundwork. That even if anything will happen, do you understand? You have that stamina, that shock absorber to hold that pressure. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But you just don't carry yourself and go. Even if you want to go this, you have to be a risk taker that doesn't have fear. There's some people that like taking risks, but they have fear. If they reach one stage, they'll just back out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So taking risks, this kind of risks, especially with people's money, it's like entering an airplane and entering into turbulence, and then you can't tell them to stop. You want to come down.
Exactly.
You have to go. You have to go through the whole damn thing. So that's what it is. But it's business owners, honestly speaking, it's really dicey. It's dicey. It's really dicey.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely, you have to take risk, but I'll just say make sure you're guarded. There's a reason why we have insurance, right?
Let me tell you something. Another thing people need to understand.
Shout out to iSize. I see you, iSize. How you doing?
2024 is not 1999. Let me warn you people again. 2024 is not 1999. Anything that you are going into, people could verify easily. And this Gen Z, they will drag you by your blockers.
Even before Deloitte catches you, obviously.
Listen, with no shame, I'm telling you. I'm just telling you. 1999 is not enough. It's just easy to check everything.
Yeah.
We can sit down on our decks. You open an account, can sit down on our decks and verify everything about the person, like on our deck. Let me tell you, the head of compliance at my job just lost his job last week because of stuff like this. Because people under him failed to do due diligence on some stuff, and he came back and he hunted. Now he had to go. This thing just happened last week. The news was broke. I came back to work on Thursday. They told me on Thursday.
Yeah, we have to be careful. So now, there's greed, right?
Yes.
Greed is part of why you have a job right now. So greed is neither negative nor bad. It's just when it's out of control or when other people get hurt. That's obviously bad, right? There's also fear when you don't take any risk at all, right? But there's also fear when you've taken risk but you pull your money out too early, right? Because some kind of news broke out, right? We know that the media is a big part of what controls the price of anything, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you the question that I asked earlier on, right? What can we learn from this as an investor? Let's deal with that first.
What I would say as investors, like, do your due diligence on whatever business that you want to put your money into, that you want to invest into. I'm telling you, the world is a global place now. It's like it's in your hand. It's mobile. The world is mobile now. You can check and verify anything. If you want to check any business name, you can put the business name in parentheses, put fraud, put money laundering, put some buzzwords to see if this is real. Do you understand? Like, people will, let me tell you, salt is white and it's soft. So is also sugar. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you have to taste it to believe it. So people will tell that, you have to put your money first to know. This one will spoil business for a lot of legit businesses. But all I'm saying is that do your due diligence. Absolutely. Don't let anybody just sweet mouth into telling you what you can get, what you can benefit, Don't go with that. Do your due diligence. Why they tell you, don't be a risk. What's that lady's name again with Lydia?
Yeah, Lydia.
She had every opportunity.
Don't be a target.
Don't be a target. She had every opportunity to do her due diligence, but she did not. Which will have helped her. All I'm just going to say, any business in 2024 that does not have social media.
Let me ask you a follow-up question. If you were, as you did like this, so let's say you have $10,000 laying around. Let's call it $25,000. and you meet a fine boy, chocolate dropping, like
Remove that out. Remove
like
that
DOZY.
That one, no, they get me.
Fine boy, suited up, show you
Nah.
websites, social media on flick, 94,000 followers, right? And he showed you beverages moving in a manufacturing truck like that, and he said, listen, just you got $25,000. You're looking for something that can turn that $25,000 to, because look at that spike. I can turn it to $100,000 overnight. And he gave you, hey, Baba, this thing is listing on NASDAQ tomorrow. Right?
So,
and
okay.
and that $25,000 is a spirit. It's a spirit. It's calling your name. Like, you have this $25,000. What would you do in that situation?
If I've gotten that money through Yahoo or somebody dash me, I will say I wouldn't mind
throw out
throwing it.
DOZY.
But going through what I go through now, I will have to think twice. Forget that chocolate dripping, melanin pumping, whatever. It doesn't work with me.
Yeah, you won't fall for it.
It takes a lot of convincing for me. And then after being in this field, it's a lot of convincing.
Okay. Now, as a business creator, as a DOZY, intelligent, aspiring, ambitious, you want to change the world, because we saw he's doing some other project that it looks like this guy what would you advise that young 13-year-old that's ambitious, hungry, and he had advisors in his ears? Because sometimes they have advisors, like, for example, the reverse company margin thing that he did to avoid IPO and get on NASDAQ, right? That was advised to him because that's a legit strategy, but it's also, when they are legit and they cut corners, they're also high risk. That kind of situation, right? What would you advise a business creator, intelligent, creative person like DOZY?
Don't run faster than your shadow.
Don't walk fast. Make sure your shadow is still with you.
Yes,
that's a good one.
Because what happens sometimes is that these people that are just saying all this stuff in your ears, why don't they go do it? Do you understand what I'm saying?
They don't have to do anything.
Yeah. They want to use you as scapegoat now. You don't become their guinea pig.
How many social media advisors do we have that don't do shit?
They want to use. I agree. They want to use you as a guinea pig.
Even Legion is a relationship coach.
But people like DOZY, you'll be surprised that most of the stuff that he did it on his own. That guy is very smart. He's not a dundee person.
Yeah, he's very smart, very intelligent.
People that do stuff like this, they are very extremely. When I mean extremely smart, they're extremely smart. So I wouldn't say a lot of what he did came from advice. This guy pre-planned what he was doing, but I want to believe that he
knew what he was doing. He had enablers, but he knew what he was doing. Yeah.
Yes, he wanted to belong to the couple of the who and who's, the Elumelus there.
He wanted to be in the room. Yep.
And listen, he would have gotten there if he had not cut corners.
Yep.
Do you understand?
I agree,
but
100%.
You see this, this social media thing, they say 30 on that 30, 40 on that 40, 50. Now he caused this kind of thing.
Yep.
Now he caused this kind of thing.
That 30 on that 30. They want to be on, as I said it earlier on, they want to be on the Forbes 30 on that 30 Africa.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's be careful. Be careful.
So that's one of the problems. Yeah, pressure. Societal pressure.
Pressure, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Nato. I appreciate you.
Anytime.
As always. Thanks for bringing your expertise. Somebody said earlier on that they want to be MLM. I say MLM.
It's MLM.
MLM. Nato, I beg, I want to do AML. All right. So you guys can link up in the chat group. The chat group is on WhatsApp. I think Louise is in there.
Let's link. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll tell you something. Let me tell you something before you leave. Natsu, right? The Man of Prestige platform is going to be an ecosystem at some point for exchanging values like this, right? Where professionals like you be a platform where you can share. You can also make money from it. You can also help other people. We can do boot camps for AML, for Scrum Master, for what's the other one I said earlier? Cyber security, IT stuff, anything digital skills, because that's obviously the direction that the world is moving. But if we're going to be a community here, like, why not, right? So you guys can already start off by linking up in the chat. Just go to WhatsApp.
But send me a message on WhatsApp, no problem.
Yep.
I hope you.
Thank you, Natu. We'll talk soon.
No problem. All right.
All right, like we said, or more. This is not a situation where we can judge DOZY. DOZY is going to be judged. Okay, the SEC and the FBI, they don't just file paperwork just because. Okay, they don't just arrest people like they do in Nigeria. That's not what they do. They don't do that. They don't just arrest people without solid, like if they catch you like this and they're already filing the indictment, they're catching you like this. That's how they catch you. Okay, all right. They don't catch you like this. In Nigeria, they catch you like this, and all you have to do is you sleep in jail twice, you do your hand like this, you escape, or you know somebody. Here, by the time SEC is indicting you, they have something on you. Okay, especially if you're a little man. If you're a little man, a black man, like because he kept saying because I'm a black man, I said, Baba, you don't cross lane. You should have been doing this in Nigeria. Maybe you would have. You got in certain rooms in Nigeria. You have a very smart. You should have just done his thing in Nigeria, and raise and focus. But sadly, he's going to be made a scapegoat. This is going to affect his reputation for the rest of his life. The trust factor for Tingo is over. Okay, his name cannot be on anything publicly ever again. Anywhere in the world, they will dig him up because the internet doesn't forget, unfortunately. And it's just sad, it's sad ultimately because this is somebody's ambitious son. He's beaten more than he can chew. Sadly, okay? He's beaten more than he can chew. And if you have greed, healthy level of greed in you, you can enter a certain zone, you will start stealing. Okay? Because you think it's just short. I'll just do small. I will stop it. Once we build the company, we'll stop all this other no, they never really stop, okay? Usually they don't stop. Okay. As I say, a lot like him or background, other ground. Yes, there are many like him. Let them go buy citizenship wherever. No peace for the wicked. Wahala. They will all be judged. It may take long, but it's already been judged. You don't escape this kind of indictment right here. He better stay in Nigeria. Actually, he probably shouldn't stay in Nigeria. He probably should go somewhere else because if he's running, they will find him. Let's see here. Due diligence, especially with IPO. Somebody tell you that I'm listing tomorrow, tell them they're just going to list. Okay. Any money you're going to make 4 times your money overnight, it's not a viable business. It's not sustainable. Okay. If anybody has done that, because they've been working for a while and you just haven't seen it. Anything called overnight success, you just can't see the work they've done. Okay. So let's all be careful with this kind of stuff. But let me know your thoughts. As I promised, I'm going to end right on time. 4 minutes over. Okay. Let me know your thoughts about this. I'm going to ask you the same questions. Okay. Because I want you to think very hard about this. As a matter of fact, I want you to go and do some research and come back with some answers and put it in the comments in the replay. What can we learn from this as investors? Number 1. Number 2, what can we learn from this if you happen to be an ambitious business creator? Because again, even if you didn't plan to steal, once you enter certain rooms and people start to advise you, they would justify that it's okay to do some certain things. What can you learn so that you don't run faster than your shadow, like Natu said? All right. So do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. All right. Let me read this last one before I leave. Let's see. Her new hobby is international Greek. Let's see. Who is Iwaneka? Who is that? I'm going to Google that as soon as we're done. Let me Google it right now before I leave. Who is Iwaneka? Iwaneka. Who is that person? All right. I'm going to find out. Is that a person's name? It looked like Kimo Underground. Her new hobby is international Wahala. They said we won whatever, and a Greek America organized. What are we talking about? Just me behind the scenes in the WhatsApp group. I beg, share some link with me. But they all use that to do their shady deals. They're everywhere, to be honest with you. This one, gotta be careful out there. Gotta be careful. And I've shied away from raising money personally, because I have legit stuff. But it just, when I consider the nature of the amateur investors, I just I run, you know, because amateur investors can be the worst too. They might start asking for their money tomorrow, and even after they sign paper, I rather not deal with that unless it's a robust situation, you know. And multiple times over the years, I've shied away from the idea of raising funds for some projects that I have, you know. I've actually taught on it, like taught videos and shared and all kind of stuff. But I stopped it in its tracks. I said no, I'm not interested, you know. She sells here, wahala, bro. You don't know how. I don't know how. I know they buy air now. I give her money to buy air. I don't buy the air. In fact, there was a time. Shout out to my friend in Houston. I linked them together. Like she sell here, so I linked together. I'll pay for it. Yeah. So I don't buy air. Does she do anything? I'll do foundation, people. Oh wow. Okay. Foundation is so no. Many of them like that. Okay. We'll come back to it. For now, just hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn on notifications so you're notified when we go live. I'll see you on the next one. Hey, wait, first of all, Latu, before we leave. No, I can't. I almost skipped that, you know. It was in my mind. I almost skipped that. But thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.